I'm feeling pretty good today. I give thanks for that. Yes. 2024 has begun, bitch. Yeah. Yeah. Like I like to say, 2024 has hands, like finally breathing again. Yes to breath. Yes to breath. That is wonderful. Hi, Anna. How are you? I am thoroughly so happy to be with you all. Happy Monday. Thank you for joining me for this Lotus Hour. We're going to be talking about Sagittarius energy because at the end of this week, we will be in Sagittarius season and we'll be wrapping up Scorpio energy, which is such a sweet moment for me. And I'll talk to you guys about that in a little bit. But let me pull up the notes that I have for Sagittarius energy as well so that we can do that. Hello. Hi. Okay. So I'm pulling that up. And I got like a little sick since like we went to Arizona. I have been like really congested and I did not enjoy that experience, y'all. Me and congestion do not get along. I really just don't comprehend the experience. So I'm very happy to feel a little less congested today. Also, too, for anyone that doesn't know, the Dark Divines is officially live on Substack. So if you wanted to be a member or you wanted to work deeper with me, please join the community there. It's amazing. We have a paid membership and we have a free membership. Both have a lot of value. If you want to dive in deeper to the work that I teach and that I do, if you want scripts and custom guided meditation, things like that, that's a paid membership. And I share a lot of who I am through my writing there on Substack. So I'm very, very, very excited to have that up and available for y'all. So please check it out. It is my name, Lotus Aloba, on Substack. It is amazing. I'm very proud of my work. I'm so proud of what I've been putting out, and I cannot wait for y'all to experience more. I talk about human design, astrology, dark feminine energy, energy healing, energy psychology, neuroscience, all the things that really buzz around in my brain. They get to have their own home and space there. So please check it out, okay? Oh, yes, I know. So I am a Sagittarius in my progressive chart. Yes, dark feminine energy. Yes. So, and thank you so much, Summer. Thank you. Yes. So the reason why I always say, like, when you're studying the stars, you realize how much the stars are within you, especially like with zodiac signs. So though my birthday is in Scorpio season, and I am very much a Scorpio through and through, when you do like progressive charts, which is like where the sun is now in your life, every 30 years the sun rotates, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm currently a Sagittarius sun, but I can still benefit from the Scorpio energy because that's what I was born with. I will inherently always have that energy. But I'm in the next phase of my 30 years, which is me being a Sagittarius, which means that within my final years of living, if I don't make it past 90, I'll be a Capricorn, which is like really cool to just kind of see that evolution. And yeah, I had a whole moment when I did that with my mom, and I was like, this explains so much about your behavior. So yes, all my Sagittarius that are out there, your season is coming up at the end of this week, and I'm very excited for you. Sagittarius energy is also very beautiful, very vibrant. And I've talked about how the zodiac seasons ebb and flow, where, for instance, Scorpio season is an inward season. It's really about diving in deep to your own shadows, making sure that you understand what your darkness looks and feels like to you. That's an inward action. And then Sagittarius energy is an outward action. It's let's go and have an adventure. We've explored our darkness. Now let's go and see what the world wants to bring us with this new wisdom that we have. And we're going to be leaning into that energy. So don't be surprised that if by the end of the week, you kind of feel like a deep breath of like a woosah energy coming through. It's that Sagittarian energy. It's very playful. It's very light. And we're going to talk a little bit more about what that looks and feels like. And then we're going to do a card reading and a guided meditation. If there's anything that you guys want to touch on or any feelings that you may have, please let me know in the chat so I can answer your questions, okay? Yes, you just joined Substack. Yes, come be a part of the family on Substack. Katie, I have your email. I'm responding to emails today. Do not think that I forgot because I did not. You're starred in my email list, okay? Hello. Pluto entering Aquarius. I know. Yeah. You're a Capricorn. You're a progressive Capricorn, a progressive sun, I think is what it's called. But yeah, every 30 years we enter a new sun sign. And then our moon signs, I think, change every 2 years. And I don't know about risings. I think risings are like almost on a weekly basis because they wrap around a little faster. I can double check that though. But yeah, yeah, exciting times. I love the fact that I get to celebrate all of Scorpio season and then celebrate again in Sagittarius season and then again in Capricorn season because of a Capricorn stellium. So I'm like, where my Capricorns at? Yeah, I take any opportunity I can to celebrate. That's what you guys will find out. Okay? No, no. It's so funny too. I have not really had a deep connection to Capricorn energy, even though it's been around me my entire life. So, yes. So now that I am aware of it, I'm like, oh, I see a lot of my Capricorn qualities. So I'm excited to move forward with this awareness of like, okay, girl, this is kind of like heavily in your chart, and how are we going to utilize it to, fulfill our purpose here on Earth? So yes, all right, let's get into it. Sagittarius season is all about luck, adventure, and truth. I feel like that's so good because it's ruled by Jupiter. You guys know how I feel about Jupiter. I literally have the symbol tattooed on my hand. It's one of my favorite planets. It's all about luck, expansion, opportunity. It really is that planet that has a level of optimism to it. And that's a lot. That's really tied to Sagittarius energy. It's a very optimistic sign. Sagittarius people tend to look on the brighter side of things for the most part. And that's not to say they don't have like a darker side to them, because all signs have that duality. But for the most part, they're pretty lighthearted energy. They're a fire sign. From my understanding of how they describe fire signs, the Leos are the sun. Aries are like, they call them like forest fires, which I don't know if that's necessarily, I don't know how my Aries people feel about that. They might think it's accurate, but it's just like fast acting flames. And then Sagittarius energy is like a candle that like really brightens the dark and gives you something to focus in on and provides a sense of like hope and warmth and love. It's a very cooling fire, if you will. So we're going to be entering that. And I just feel really good about it. I just feel like this is going to be a good Sag season for all of us. Okay? So, number one, here are some powerful themes for Sagittarius season. We have luck, the magic of alignment. Jupiter's energy creates a sense of being in flow with life. During Sag season, this isn't about blind luck. It's about alignment. So let's be very clear. I know there's a lot of taboo around the word luck, or we're like, no, it's not luck, it's hard work, or no, it's not luck, it's God. And I want us to remember that it can be yes and. It could be yes, this is luck and hard work. Yes, this is God and it's luck. Because I feel like these energies that come into our lives, like the feeling of luckiness, the feeling of beauty, the feeling of prosperity, these are not absent of source. These are because of source. So you can be a lucky person. And I really would love for society to stop condemning people where like, oh, things just work out for you all the time. Yes, they do. Like, why is that a bad thing? Why is that a negative thing? Why do we make someone feel really bad about the fact that they happen to be in alignment? We have no idea what they did in their past life. We have no idea what they did in their current life to get into that flow of favor. We have no idea what their connection is to their source, to their ancestors, that's providing them the opportunity to be in flow. I would love for us to just kind of have an open heart and an open mind to that energy of luck, because I consider myself to be a very lucky person. And it does not negate any of my intelligence or my boldness or my decisiveness. It enhances it. And I really feel like this season is allowing us to lean into that more for ourselves too. Can I embrace the energy of feeling lucky? Can I embrace the energy of feeling like I'm in alignment? Am I willing to embrace that energy? Because a lot of times, many of us we crave alignment, we crave being in flow, we want it so badly, but we absolutely have no idea what to do with it when it arrives. And that is why it goes just as quickly. Are you cultivating a lifestyle and a spirit that can be accepted, that can accept luck, that can accept favor and alignment? How is your spiritual hygiene? How is your spirit feeling about this? Do you kind of cringe at the fact that someone calls you lucky? Does it make you feel invalidated? These are things that you can explore this week as we're ending out that Scorpio season, because that's still shadow play that needs to be done, shadow exploration, and asking yourself, if everything went right in Sagittarius season, everything that I could possibly imagine, all of my dreams came true that season, would I be able to sustain them? Could I endure that amount of joy, that amount of adventure, that amount of favor? And if you really feel like it's not an astounding, yes, girl, let's do this, or yes, I'm ready for that, take this last week in Scorpio to sort it out, to put the wheels in motion, to be able to open your mind, your body, and your spirit up to being in a season of favor, being in a season of flow and alignment, where it's such a natural experience for you. Okay? Good morning, Gail. Culture seems to hate flow and praise struggle as always necessary. Yes. And I do believe that is a bit of a tactic to keep people out of their power. I don't know, maybe it's considered a bit of a conspiracy theory, if you will. But when I was reading No Mud, No Lotus, they speak about how suffering is necessary. Suffering is a part of our humanity. It's what allows us to develop empathy and compassion, right? These things that we need to be human, to be humane. And that struggle is when we hold on to suffering for too long. It's when we've attached our identity to the suffering, and then we begin to struggle. So when people say things like the struggle is real, it's real because you said that it is. Struggle is not a real concept. It's not a real thing. It's up there with like the understanding of worry, where worry is just like the, oh my goodness, how do I want to put that? Like the villainous side, if you will, of prayer, because they both do the same thing. When you're praying, consistently, and when you're worrying consistently, they have the same energy, just like excitement and anxiousness. It is the same energy in the body. It's the intention that makes a difference. It is the intention that makes a different impact as well. So if you are worrying all the time, worrying for your loved ones, worrying for your finances, you're going to consistently be calling in that energy of, my finances are not where I want them to be. My family is sick. Where I live at is so dangerous. It's because you're continuously praying for that. That is a prayer. Worry is a form of prayer. And people get confused by prayer because you attach it to religion. Prayer is a conversation with Source. That's all that it is. There's a saying that when you pray, you're speaking to Source. And then when you meditate, Source can speak to you. It's a conversation. So when you are praying, remove that aspect from it if it's blocking your understanding of it, and realize like, okay, me just praying is me setting intention, is me calling on whatever energy I believe that is moving things around in my life and saying, hey, here's what I'm looking at. Here's what I'm experiencing. Here's what I need support in. That is literally it. I would love for us to move forward in that, because a lot of us are refusing these ancestral and ancient tools that really do help us because of the dogma that's connected to it, because of the traumas we've experienced in the church, right? So prayer is just a conversation with God, Source, love, Allah, whoever you call on to in your time of need. Converse with that intention of opening the heart, opening the mind, and allowing favor to come in. Worry is conversing with God and saying, all I can see is a negativity around me and it terrifies me. And that's all I'm focusing on. And if you're someone that doesn't believe in God and you believe in universe is a very neutral energy of whatever you focus on is what I'm going to bring you. It's not I understand that you're worrying. It's just like, okay, you keep talking about this. Your energy is feeding this. This is clearly what you want. So however you look at it, that's the vibe that it's giving. And this season of Sagittarius energy is really asking us to embrace favor, embrace luck, okay? So some ways that you can feel in alignment is when you trust yourself and you move with intention. Life will meet you with synchronicity and opportunities. So it can feel like stumbling upon an unexpected opportunity, maybe meeting someone who helps you in ways that you couldn't have even imagined, right? Feel like your timing is finally right for something you've been wanting to bring to the world. These are all ways that we can lean into that natural favor that Sagittarius energy provides us, okay? Maisha, hello. It's one of the Four Noble Truths. Yes. Katie, Granny would say worry steals joy. It does. It really does. Worry is just not. It is something I really work on not doing. Even the saying of like, it's because I worry for you. You know, it's like when you say, oh, poor so and so, like, oh, poor Lotus, you know, I'm gonna pray for, like, stuff like that. Like there's a nastiness to it that we have accepted in society as being a form of care, and it's not a form of care. You're actually doing more harm to that person than good, you know. When I was younger, I think I talked about this too with Worry. My mom would do these things like right before I would leave and be like, you know, it's dangerous out there and you don't want to get this and this happens. And I'm like, girl, I literally am just going to the store, just going to school. Now all I can think about is horrible things happening to me as I walk outside. And even at that young age, I knew that that was a misuse of my energy. I knew that for some reason I was calling it in, and it made me very angry actually toward my mom, because it would be hard for me to get her voice out of my head, because it's your parental's voice, you know, like it's that first voice you hear. So it sticks, it stays, it lingers. And I would be so upset because I would go into the world like afraid, and I didn't feel like that when I woke up. So when I finally had the language and the understanding of what was happening, and I had the conversation with my mom, she was really, you know, like, that's not what I meant. And I'm like, I know that's not what you meant, but however, that's how it showed up in my atmosphere. It made me afraid. When we are worrying for someone else, it can bring on that fear. And then you're never surprised when they tell you something horrible happened. You're like, I was worried for you, and look what happened. You know, maybe you also kind of helped bring that in, because your energy is that powerful. When we evoke a thought and we attach a feeling to it, we can really bring things on, not only just for ourselves but for others, especially if we love and care about them deeply, if we're passionate about that person. So these are things to keep in mind. Okay, this is also going to be a lot easier for us to navigate in Sagittarius energy, because it kind of just soothes that worry. It soothes that concern. You're a bit more focused on the brighter side of things. Okay. Hi, Tanya. Oh my goodness, how are you feeling? How was your treatment? Okay. Okay. Hi, Dee. I did that to my daughter, and she responded with anxiety. Yeah, it's anxious, because also too, when we were in that duality, that dynamic of like parent and child, you are our authority in life, right? Until we become our own adults, our own people. So what you say feels like law. It feels like, no, this is going to happen because, like, you know, mom said it, dad said it, like my guardian said this to me, like it's going to happen. And it almost feels like doom. That's at least how I interpreted it with my mom, where I'm just like, just tell me I'm gonna have a really great day and it's gonna be amazing and that the stars are gonna shine on me or something. Like, I'd much rather carry that energy, because even if something does happen to me that makes me feel unsafe or worried, at least I have these words of you telling me that it's still going to be a good day to carry with me. You know, when my niece leaves for school, I literally tell her every single day that you are amazing. Your day is going to be beautiful and bright, that you're incredible. You're going to have a good time with your friends, and you're going to learn really cool things. And I can't wait to hear about it. I never like, be safe and, you know, remember, because I don't want her to carry that as she's going to school. Because I remember what it felt like for me. And it just took a lot out of me to like navigate hearing that lingering voice and then also living life, you know? So many fears are created, albeit out of love. The anxiety lingers. Yes, Katie. The video signal is choppy. Can see Lotus proper. Tanya, it might be better on YouTube. I'm not sure. It says that it's excellent service here on Insight Timer, but if it isn't great, I'm also live on YouTube right now. Okay? My mom still does that. I used to be angry and anxious. I now affirm the truth and understand that this is how she loves. I gently teach her how to love me in a way that resonates. Maisha, I love that. I don't know if I'm as gentle with my mom. I would like to think that I'm way more softer. I don't know if I'm gentle, but I do the same thing with my mom. I'm like, Mom, no, we're not doing that. Like, we're not doing that. No, it's going to actually be great. We're going to both be fine, and I'm going to let you know how it goes. I also have gotten to the point where if there are certain things that I know are not complete yet, like if I'm doing a certificate, like when I was getting ordained to be a minister, I didn't tell my mom at all. I just waited until it was done and then sent her the good news. And she was elated. She was so excited. It was a lot easier for me to do that than for me to tell her in the beginning, and then to kind of get the list of worries and having to navigate that when I knew I was already in alignment. You know, sometimes because the adults in our lives, our guardians, they care for us so deeply. Sometimes they infuse their intuition with fear, and I think it's a thing that happens as we get older. You know what I mean? Like life can be very heavy. It can definitely make you weary and tear you down, especially depending on like how you identify. So I feel like having that discernment of like when to share certain information on what you're doing. A lot of times when I go out the country, I don't tell my mom until like everything is settled, or I'm like settled in the country. I'm like, hey mom, I'm here. And a lot of people are like, why would you do that? Like she needs to know. And I'm like, I need to get there safely. And I know my mom is going to think of 1,000 reasons as to why I will not get there safely. Not because she's trying to harm me, but simply because she cares about me so much. And I am the center of her world. And her main thing is like, I can't lose the center of my world. So let me tell her all the possibilities of how I could lose her so she can avoid them. And it's very like counterproductive, you know? So yeah, these are things to keep in mind as we are growing. If we become the guardians, if we become the parents, like less worry, more prayer, um, more speaking life, breathing life into the smaller people that we get to accompany in this lifetime, because they can do a lot more with that energy. Okay? Happy to be here. Yeah, we're happy you're here too. This is a nice surprise that Lotus is live. Haven't been here in a while. Tanya, we're happy you're here with us. Yes, if it doesn't work, Tanya, please. Like it should be very clear on YouTube. Okay? Maisha, Lotus, both your moms are Sharon, right? Oh my gosh, is that true, Maisha? Like, is your mom named Sharon? So my mom is named after the Rose of Sharon in the Bible. Um, so her name is Sharon, but uh, people have changed it and they call her Sharon. She answers to either one, but I have to remind her to like, your name is Sharon. My grandmother named you Sharon. She did not name you Sharon, and she was like, that's what I said. Tell you about your name. I'm like, so I don't understand. I don't understand. It's Sharon. Same thing with my grandmother. Her name, she's named after divine feminine energy. So it's Ida, but a lot of people say Ida, but it's Ida. So it's an interesting thing. Okay. Hi, Kiana. Grand Rising Goddess Mo from Tennessee. My mom is named after the same grandfather as the pastor. Oh, Rosa Sharon. Yes. She goes by the common Sharon though. Yeah, yeah. I'd be like, Mom, don't let nobody call you Sharon if that's not your name, girl. Like, please. Or I'll correct you, like her name is Sharon. Thank you. Sharon. Thank you. Rosa Sharon and yeah, Rosa Sharon and biblical grapes of wrath. Yes. Yes. Roshana. Oh, it's beautiful. Yes. Happy belated birthday. Oh my gosh. Happy birthday, Kiana. Scorpio season. Yes. I love this. I love this. Oh, first off, family, right? I just love us. Okay. I don't want to get too distracted. Okay. So, second theme that I want to focus on too. Oh, before we get to second theme, luck follows action, inspired action. Let me be very clear. It's not about just momentum and movement. I know we're often taught like just make a move and it'll happen. And inspired action. This is what comes with us taking care of our bodies, taking care of our minds and our spirits to know when to move on something. You'll get that nudge or you'll get an insight of like what to do or where to go or someone to call. That is inspired action. That is where you take that inspiration and you act on it. Inspired action always makes you feel lucky. I can't tell you how many times I'll think of somebody and be like, oh, let me just call them. And I call them up and they're like, girl, I was just thinking about you. Like synchronicity happens that way. We are our vessels, our bodies, like they are channels. We're very attuned. It's just that many of us have been taught to like disconnect, but it's so easy to reconnect. I don't want you to think that it's like a hard thing. It's a dark night of the soul kind of path to get back into that level of intuition and like favor and spiritual flow. You can just say like, you know what? I'm making a declaration to be more aware, to be more opened, have my eyes focused on all the blessings and miracles that are around me. And that can put you in that space of thinking of somebody, hearing a song, remembering something from your childhood, and acting on that will always bring you more luck, okay? And I like to say that luck is living under cosmic knowledge. So being aware of everything that is around you, being aware of everything that is within you to the best of your ability will always bring you luck as well. Okay? So, second thing is adventure. Sagittarius energy is all about travel, exploration. Like, it's so much fun. And I can definitely attest to my progressive Sag Sun energy really peaking when I turned 30 and me wanting to go literally everywhere. Like, I've always been a traveling spirit, but I'm like, no, I need to go everywhere all the time. I need adventure in my life. I am the adventure girl. I am the let's go climb the invisible staircase. Let's go bungee jump. Let's jump out of a plane. Like, that is me. I live. I love. It is like one of the most peaceful things. I love roller coasters because I just feel like it's such a meditative process. Everyone is screaming and I'm just like, this is so nice. Like, I really love this. So, Sag energy really calls on that need to explore. And exploration doesn't necessarily mean going to different countries or different places. It could be exploring more about who you are, where you are going internally, what your inner world looks like. That is also an adventure as well, okay? Exploring new ideas, experiences, and perspectives, stepping outside of your comfort zone, okay? And saying yes to the unknown. Remember, we talked about this maybe a few weeks ago, that we want to shift our understanding of the unknown. It's not a negative thing. It's not, oh my goodness, in the unknown, in the darkness, only there's monsters and there's demons and there's just all these bad things going to happen to me. And no, the unknown is just unknown. If you've never been to Disneyland, it's unknown to you. But do you think it's a horrible place to go? Like, no. When you get there, you're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Kind of keep that energy when you're moving into the unknown. I have no idea what it's going to be, but I also understand energy enough to know that I can set the intention that it will be good for me, that it'll be safe for me, that I will enjoy myself. Because you have to set an intention regardless. So either you choose to set an intention that allows you to feel safe and seen, or by default, you're going to choose to feel terrified and afraid. Which one is more enjoyable for you? For me, I like to go into the unknown thinking that it's just going to provide me with so much wonder, so much excitement, so much love, so much joy. Maybe I'll meet people that I'll fall in love with. Maybe I will go to places that make me feel even more beautiful. That is where I'm going with the unknown. I'm not going to the whole, what if I get kidnapped or what if, no, I'm not. No, thank you. I know how powerful and potent my energy is and my thought process. And I just absolutely refuse to continue to harm myself by thinking things and thinking thoughts that don't allow me to feel safe. And I want to clarify again that this is not spiritual bypass and not in the sense of like not paying attention, right? Like if you're walking and you see a dark alley and your body physically does not feel like we should go down that alley, maybe not go down that alley, right? Do you see what I mean? Like there's still a level of discernment. There's very real fear that can harm the body, and then there's fear that we make up in our head that harms the psyche. It's the fear in the psyche that we can literally lean into and say, yeah, I can just switch this around, okay? Let me know if that makes sense, because I do want people to understand that. That is not toxic positivity. Like there's a level of discernment there as well. Okay? We have to make it happen now. Action you did. Yes. That is me. Love thrills and rides. Yes, I love a good roller coaster. My niece. And you think that she would as a Sagittarius, but that girl does not. She does not do well with roller coasters. Like, at all. Yes. Hi, BD. I see your radiant beauty on screen and in the chats. Oh, thank you. Speaking of beauty, look in the mirror. I know that's right, Jack. Yes, BD. You are a reflection. Yes, my relationship to uncertainty has evolved. Yes, it used to be terrifying and destabilizing. Great for evolution. Yeah, I think a lot of us have had that experience too. You know, of just being afraid of the dark, right? Like I don't know what my next step is and like what I'm going to do. And as you grow and you evolve and you experience more of life, I just pray and hope that it allows you to feel safer in those experiences. I feel safe in the dark, and I also feel safe in the light. You know? I feel safe in both of the experiences. I really trust in my angels, my ancestors. I trust in my God. I trust in my own intuition, my own magic, my own essence. I really have a deep sense of trust for myself that I wouldn't put myself in harm's way, that I would be attuned enough to either not enter spaces that could be harmful for me, or if by some reason I miss that first warning, I pick up the second one and I head out and I excuse myself, or I allow my energy to make me invisible. There are just so many different ways that we can lean into that understanding. Ooh, your Sag rising? Yes. Okay, this is some divine timing right here. I need to hear these words coming through you, Lotus. Oh, BD, yes! Maisha, feels like your relationship to everything has evolved. As it should. That's literally what it is. Yeah, I'm gonna head out. Like, ooh, this is feeling unsafe. Like, and I'm very attuned and aware. So I'm not just picking up off of like, uh, like outwardly danger. It's if I sense something. Like someone can shift in a certain way, and if it feels weird to my aura, whoever I'm with, I'm like, yeah, let's go. No, yeah, let's go. And I'm grateful enough to be around people that really respect my intuition. That if I'm saying like let's go, because I really don't feel afraid in many places. I don't feel afraid. I don't feel scared in many places. So if I do feel like, oh, yeah, I'm just quietly like, I'm not trying to make a scene. I'm just trying to make sure that me and my people are good. And I'm going to send you some love and prayers over there so you can handle what needs to be handled. But yeah, like nuances, things, tonality as well. When people speak, if there's like a certain level of like desperation in their voice, I'm out of there. Yeah. These things keep you safe. Yes. Vámonos, Aurora. Like, let's go. Yeah. So we have that adventure aspect, that theme of Sagittarius energy, the call to explore. What this can look and feel like, you have an urge to try something new, whether it's a class, a hobby, or even going somewhere new, like a new trip. You feel restless or curious, drawn to explore beyond your current routines. That's another call. If you're getting bored with like your self-care routine, or you're getting bored with a certain aspect of your life, that's probably that Sagittarian call for adventure, to explore and do something new and refreshing the spirit, refreshing the flow of your life. Because what we don't realize is that when we continuously do the same things over and over and over again, yes, repetition is key, it's important, and routine is helpful for the body to have muscle memory on those moments and those days where we feel like we cannot mentally get through it, but our body gets us through it. So there's always this duality that I think I will always speak about. So you have that understanding, but also that after a while, doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, you lose the magic for it, right? It becomes automated and it becomes stagnant. You want something that's going to refresh it. So have that understanding of like, okay, your body will naturally tell you. Like if you notice that every day you're getting up and doing yoga, and journaling, and then one day you don't do it, your body's like, I don't want to do this anymore. Your spirit's like, yeah, we get it, girl. What else can we do? Lean into that. It's not you not being consistent or disciplined enough. It just could be your spirit asking to refresh. Give me something new to do with my body. Give me something new to do with my writing. Maybe instead of journaling every morning, let's paint, let's sing or dance. Your body's asking for something different. Just allow it to have that, and you will begin to deepen your sense of self-trust, which I also feel like is a big thing in Sagittarius energy. And you'll also be able to enjoy the experience more and not be so hypercritical of yourself. Okay? Follow your curiosity. If something sparks your interest, lean into it. This is a time to trust where your instincts are guiding you. Let yourself be adventurous. And it doesn't have to be dramatic, okay? It can be something as simple as shifting your perspective, or it can be something as big as moving to a new country. Wherever that adventure is calling you to, go towards it with an open heart and open mind, and allow yourself to be refreshed. Allow your spirit to be refreshed. Allow your energy to be refreshed, okay? Oh, my Taurus people, you guys know I love Taurus people. Like, my heart. I really just love people in general. I realize that about myself. Like, I actually do really enjoy people. When I was younger, I did not enjoy people at all. Like, at all. This is so nice to know that I've grown. Okay, third theme, truth telling, freedom through honesty. Okay, at its core, Sagittarius season is all about truth. This is the season to let go of the fear of judgment and embrace honesty, both with yourself and others. The energy of Sagittarius encourages you to speak your truth boldly and allow it to set you free. Let's talk about speaking the truth, because I think a lot of people are confused. Speaking your truth does not mean being rude or callous or mean. It also does not mean you have to people please or sugarcoat what you're saying either. Speaking your truth is first and foremost making sure that it's a truth. So instead of just saying whatever's on your chest to somebody, have discernment. Use yourself as a filter. Is this the truth or is how I feel? Is this the truth or is this a trauma speaking? Really go through it. When I actually speak to somebody about something I feel is true, I have filtered first. I have asked myself and made sure that I am not projecting, that I am not influencing, that I'm just simply witnessing. People get lost in that understanding of telling the truth. And like, well, when I tell the truth, people get mad at me. Are you telling the truth? Or are you telling an experience that you think is true, not that you feel is true? Because there's also times people tell me things and I'm like, okay, I can see this is what you're feeling, and I'm never going to negate your feelings. I'm never going to tell you that your feelings are invalid or that they're not true, because that's just something I can't do. I also can't define your truth for you. Only you can do that. I can be willing to accept it, and then I can decide if it's true for me or not. So there's that two-way street of you telling something to somebody and them having the skill set to be able to understand if it is a truth for them or not. Because what is true for me may not be true for you. And we have to also be able to be okay with that and not think that someone's dismissing you because it's not true for them. I can't tell you how many times. I'll tell you one story. When I was in college, I was actually going to college for like political science, by the way, which people are like always so surprised by. I'm like, yeah, I was literally gonna go into like, I had an internship at the White House. I was like literally gonna go down that path, and then I got sick and completely was redirected. And I do see why I was redirected, because I don't think I would have been able to. It just would have been a bad experience for me. But I remember telling two of my friends at the time that were older than me, they're a little bit more polished, and I was like, yeah, I think I want to run for president of student government. And they were like, you just became a senator. Like, girl, like, what are you talking about? Like, no, like, maybe your final semester you'll do that. And I was like, yeah, no, I think I want to do it now, though. And they were like, no, that's just not how it goes. You're probably not going to win. They gave, again, worried about me, right? Like, we still want to see you lose and be heartbroken. And they gave me an entire list as to why I wasn't qualified, why it wouldn't work for me. And they were not being mean. They weren't on some like, yeah, we just don't believe in you. It was really, here's what I've been looking and seeing around, and here's what the statistics say. Like, you're not going to win this. You know, I think I was like 18 turning 19. There was all these factors. I was unknown in the school. It was all these things that they were telling me, like, there's no way. Like, this is the truth. And I was able to hear what they said. And I was just like, yeah, that's not really how things work for me. Like, if I want something, I tend to get it. You know, like, I don't just say I want random things. If I said that this is what I want, this is what I'm going to get. You know, I was a little bit more determined and a little bit more intense when I was younger. And I became the president. I was the first Black woman president in like, I think 5 or 6 years. And ironically, I ended up meeting the woman president that was before me, the 6 years before me. And she ended up being my mentor. Met her randomly. I forgot how. I think we both were modeling, something like that. And she told me that they said the same things about her. And she did it too. And I was a landslide win against someone that was well seasoned to be president, that should have been president by all the standards that they told me I did not qualify for. And it was a landslide. And I was the first president to have people of the LGBTQIA community be the majority of my government. People who were immigrants that were not born here, they were part of my government. It was also predominantly female-led as well. Yeah, I broke all these records that were truths at one point. So that's something else to keep in mind too. And that Sagittarius energy really runs through that. Of someone's truth is not your truth, and you can still acknowledge it, hold space for it, and not let it change who you are or change what it is that you see for yourself. Because we are also here to create new experiences. Let me know if that makes sense. Yeah, big crushes on Tauruses. I can't wait to have big things on the horizon next month. I love this for you, Kiana. Yes, and this month. I know that's right. Right. Truth or trauma speaking. Write that down. Yeah, it's how you say it. It's how you say it. And it's where you're saying it from. When I speak truth, it's coming from here. It's coming from my heart. It's not coming from up here. My truths they're not logically based, but they're like logically approved. So it comes from the heart. And then I use my logical side to like digest it and make it where I can speak it to that person in a language that they understand. And that does take a skill set. But it's very rare when I tell the truth now that people are not open to it. Or people are just kind of like, that's not true. Like they kind of pull back from it. Discernment is a big part of that. But yeah, I speak from my heart. Like, I think that's why when I speak and I say things or I tell people that like I love them or I care for them, it feels like it's a true statement because it is really coming from here. I really do not speak unless I need to. And when I do, it is with a lot of intention. You know? Yeah, feelings they just are. Be curious, ask questions. Yes, Kiana, I can decide if it's truth for me or not. Yeah. And you don't have to say that to them. Like, when I was younger, I would say like, that's your truth. That's not my truth. You don't have to say that to people. You could just also know that in your mind, like, okay, that is true for them. But I know me and my track record, and I'm just going to keep that to myself. And then once it happens and it materializes in the physical world, they reach back out like, girl, like you made it happen. Like, yeah, I understood my truth. And you can leave it at that. It doesn't have to be messy, okay? I think sometimes we want to defend ourselves in that moment of like, no, you're wrong because you're looking at me this way. It's their perspective. It's their lens on life. Like, they look at everybody that way. It's not just you. Like, that is how they see the world. Let them see the world that way. You know what your world looks like. Focus on that. Put your energy toward that, not towards making someone else's world look like yours. Like, people say things sometimes and I'm like, that is so inaccurate. It's not even funny. But that's not my business. Like, I'm not about to sit here and correct you. This is your lens. But I know that by living my life and living my truth and the results that I can get, maybe that inspires you to change your lens a little bit. Maybe it doesn't. But either way, it's not enough to derail me on my journey in life. Okay? Political science, and you also say literature. I did. So I was a double major in poli-sci and literature. And I was so upset because as soon as I graduated, they had a communications major. And I was like, that's what I would have wanted to do, but whatever. But I did really well in my communications class. And I'm pretty sure Cardi B was in my class. Like, I'm like 90% sure. I also was a college student. Like, I only showed up for tests and things like that. Me and traditional education system, I did well, okay? I just don't know how to explain it. Like, I showed up when I need to show up. I did my projects. I could not make my 7 a.m. class every day. I just couldn't do it, y'all. Like, but I'm pretty sure Belle Calise was one of my peers. Like, I'm like pretty sure. Like, pretty sure. But yes. Yeah, poli-sci and literature. And you guys get to see that more of that literature side now through my my writing, which is so exciting because I'm like, I never thought I would put this degree to use. Like, I never thought it would happen. So funny. Yes, constructive feedback. Yes. I want equals I get. Spoken like a true Scorpio. I know. Taurus energy signature is similar. Yeah, like, please. If I said it, I want it, it's already in the works. It's already happening. Lotus landslide. Yes, yeah. I was very, 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 very much. It actually fueled me, them telling me that it was impossible for me. And these are people that were like in political science world, like My girlfriend at the time, her mother was a diplomat. So I was like, you know what I mean? Like heading to the UN with her, stuff like that. And then the other one was like a Morehouse man. And that might also be why I have a little bit of an issue with Morehouse men, but that's another story. But like he had been, I don't know, like a really an amazing leader in the community at the college, and he was like really well respected and stuff like that, and this full everything. So like they definitely had the professional background and experience to make the claims that they made, but they also just had never met me before, or what it is that I was capable of. Because like if I want something, I get something. So it was a nice learning experience for all of us. You know, they were extremely shook, and of course, when it happened, they were like, so you made it happen, but like, can you sustain it? Like, you don't have this skill set. And I was just like, yeah, I think I'm gonna be fine. Like, I'm actually a phenomenal leader. Like, yeah, I'm good. We're good. And it was probably one of the most impactful governments in that college. I'll run your VP. Let's meet on it. Yes, Jack, I would love that because the VP that I had, I didn't enjoy him at all. He knows this though. I've said it to him. It's not uncommon knowledge. Yes, yes, yes. That's their land. Lotus, I did pretty well in communication classes. I really went. Kirby's classmate. I'm pretty sure of it. Like, I'm pretty sure that I'm pretty sure of it. She was like really quiet and like off to herself. And I don't know if she was like a registered student or not. Cause like you could come and drop in class. It was a community college. Like, but I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure of it. Yeah, me and Morehouse men, you know. I wish them the best if you're watching. You're probably not. If you're a Morehouse man, you're probably not watching my content. I probably infuriate you. But like if you happen to be watching, like, hi, hope you guys are well. What college? I went to Borough of Manhattan Community College, and I did 2 years. And I was gonna go to City College like my mom did, and I just could not imagine going back to college. I hated it. I loved the community aspect of it, the student government aspect, you know, I was part of the Black Honor Society, all these different things that I was doing. I enjoyed that part. And I actually loved my classes. It was the institution of college that I hated. It was the fact that when I would sit with the vice president or the president, like in their office, which is like mahogany wood floors, and he has a Rolex on his hand, and I'm talking about, you know, the millions of dollars in student activity funds, like where is it going? And they're just telling me like mind your business, and like that college is a business first before it is about education or community. It infuriated me because I'm just like, so many students have no idea where their money is going, and y'all do not care to inform them, and you guys are threatening me because I'm informing my peers about where their money is going. And if you're doing this at a community college level, I don't know if I have enough discipline to not burn this all down at a 4-year college. Especially because at BMCC, we had a really big population of people who had migrated here from different countries. My fiance at the time was from Trinidad, and he was paying like 3 times the amount that I was paying for school just to go to community college. And I could not, these things enraged me. People wanting to get education and having to really decide between paying for books or for food is disgusting, if I'm being quite honest with you. And I knew I couldn't do that for another 2 years. I just knew I couldn't do it. So yeah, I am technically a college dropout because I didn't get my BA, but I mean, I feel no way about it. Whether you go to college or not, whatever works for you works for you. But that's just my own. It's the institution that I couldn't deal with. Yeah, yes. The system, and yes, is so harmful. Yeah. I love learning. I don't like the system. Yeah, I'm the same way. I feel the same way about education systems in general for children. That's why I couldn't be a regular teacher. I tried it. I was an assistant teacher for a really long time. I just couldn't do it. The amount of rules and them telling me like what actually mattered to children when I was with them every single day. You know, like me and admin would really be like toe to toe, where I'm like, they need to go outside and play. And you're like, well, limit it to like 20 minutes. I'm like, these are kids. 20 minutes a day? They're here for 8 hours? Are you crazy? How their little bodies cannot take this. Like, what are we talking about? Why would you have me go and learn and do all these certifications about being, you know, learning their social emotional well-being and safe spaces, and then tell me that they can't go play. Like, what are you talking about? So this is why I do more of like a private one-on-one client thing, because there's more that I can do there. I'm not spending a lot of my time going against a system that is already against children. I just didn't have a great experience when I would go into schools. Even when I was a third party educator, the way that teachers would talk to kids, or like, make them feel really bad about themselves because they're exhausted and they're tired. Like, it couldn't, it's the system itself that I cannot, the education system sucks. Um, and I do hope that as I continue to live, I'm able to create some type of movement or curriculum that can help our education system, especially given the 4 years that we might be going into, so that kids can also enjoy their lives while also learning things that are actually important for them to learn. But yeah, yes, me and education. Yes, I love my classes. It was an institution that I hated. Burn it down. Yes. I used to say it all the time. The president at the time did not like me. But, it ended up being that there was like a whole scandal where like they were misusing student activity funds to like go on yacht trips, stuff like that. It ended up all coming out to light anyway. So I was like, I said what I said and I meant it. It was going to take time. It didn't happen in my government, but it did happen. And he was removed. So we love that. I hope so. I hope there is another way for us to build out the education system. I worked a couple of CCs and you're spot on. Yeah, it's a business. They say that all the time. They're like, this is not a school, it's a business. And I'm like, we're not in a school? They're like, no, this is a business, sweetie. I'm like, okay, it's crazy, but okay, sure. Same, I didn't want a teaching degree because I didn't want the brainwashing conditioning I found teaching in other avenues. Exactly, same. Yes, systems and their rules and the bureaucracy never work for me. I break rules for fun. Yeah, and people get really upset with me about it. I'm just kind of like, like, why not? Can we build something attuned from the ground up? I pray that we can, Jack. Maisha, I do admire and I'm amazed that went all the way to MSW in licensure. I know you were brilliant, by the way, not playing. Oh my goodness. Same BD, I worked with schools, not for them, so I wasn't bound by their contracts. Yes, that is what I do now. I usually just kind of come in, I specialize in something, and I usually always have it based in social emotional well-being and making sure that the children are building up a sense of confidence when they are with me. So we usually start with some type of affirmation work, a lot of body movement. My classes are very much, they're outside as much as they can be, and I usually get no pushback because my kids are phenomenal human beings and they tend to flourish in the classroom. So, it's a lot easier. It's less of a headache. Okay, so truth telling, freedom through honesty. It can look like what it can feel like. You feel an inner nudge to say what's been on your heart. You're drawn to let go of pretenses and stand fully in your authenticity. Okay, how to embrace it. Identify one area you've been holding back. Maybe it's a conversation, a decision, or a personal truth you've been avoiding. Start small, but make a commitment to yourself in the Sagittarius season to honor that truth. Speaking or living your truth creates space for new opportunities to flow into your life. This is very true. If you're not honest with yourself and what it is that you desire, where it is that you want to go, who it is you want to be with, whatever the case is, wherever that honesty is being directed, you miss out on the alignment. You miss out on the opportunities for that truth to flourish, for that truth to grow and to be a part of your life and your experience. So it's really important that you figure out ways to exercise your truth. Start small, whatever feels safe for you to do, and let it expand, you know? But speaking your truth is such a powerful thing. It's such a healing experience. And it is also quite terrifying. Like, publicly saying I dislike the institution of education can trigger a lot of people, especially people who have given their lives to it. I have a mentor who's been teaching longer than I've been alive. It is not in disrespect to her, whatever she was able to contribute, which was a lot. It's just simply that this institution is terrible. Two things can be true. The teachers can be phenomenal and the system could suck. That is a truth that many people would not kind of say, because it when you are speaking your truth, it can come with a different level of feedback that you're not prepared for. It can trigger people. Telling the truth is very triggering for some people. It makes them feel like they're being judged, or that they're not doing enough, or you don't really understand their story. And that's never really going through my mind when I speak the truth, which is why I do so with a level of discernment, and that there's a lot of love and care. And when I speak the truth too, and a lot of strategy as well, because my intention is to just speak the truth. It's not to harm anyone. Sometimes you trigger somebody to the point where they do feel harmed, and hopefully there's a conversation that could be had, or they have the resources and support to work through that triggering and get to a space where they realize that that's not what your intention was. Maybe they never do. These are things that come with living our truth, though. Okay? Okay. Let's see. What I'm hearing and reading here is what I wish we could create for youngsters. Yes, empowering and terrifying. Yeah, yeah, we definitely can, for sure. I agree. We can definitely build these things out. Okay, so what to expect during Sagittarius season? Lucky breaks and synchronicity. Opportunities may feel like they come out of nowhere, but they're really a result of you aligning to your truth and your actions, a hunger for new experiences. You might feel a pull towards something fresh and exciting, whether it's travel, learning, or trying something different. Trust that these experiences are here to expand your horizons. Moments of clarity. This season often brings clarity about what you want and what no longer serves you. Truth telling and self reflection will help you align with the highest version of yourself. Okay. Also, too, a need for harmony. With Sagittarius energy, it's very optimistic, it's very free spirited. It's easy to go overboard. It's easy to dive into it and almost end up into a space of toxic positivity or spiritual bypass. Okay. So you want to make sure you're doing things that ground you, things that allow you to pace yourself, so that you can still receive that optimism, but have it be filtered through a discerning lens so that you don't lose yourself in it. Okay. Let me know if that makes sense to you. And then I'm going to drop some questions here for anyone that wants to just kind of have these questions to journal with. Okay? And I'll read them out loud in a second. Let me just copy and paste first. There we go. So the questions that we have: where in your life do you feel the most luckiest right now? I love that question. I'm thinking for myself. I think it's probably just in the relationships that I have. I feel very lucky and very fortunate to have the amount of love in my life, the amount of women and children and people in my life and community in my life where I feel so safe and seen. It makes me feel very, very lucky. What adventure, big or small, are you ready to say yes to? For me, it's expanding the business side of what it is that I do and accepting more one-on-one clients, allowing the Substack to grow and flourish. That is an adventure that I'm saying yes to, and it is thrilling. It's thrilling in all senses of the word, like exciting and also like, oh my God. But I'm very, 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 very excited for that adventure and to see where it takes us. I feel like it's going to take us very far. And then the last question that we have is, what truths need to be spoken for you to feel more free? What truths need to be spoken for you to feel more free? I know for myself, it is a truth about the dark feminine energy that I am consistently in relationship with, and sharing more about what that looks and feels like, and intentionally breaking down the stigma that comes with it so that people can really embrace the fullness of who they are, their light and their dark. They'll be able to lean into it more. Also embracing that feminine energy that many of us have neglected or have let go of because of society, because of the world that we live in, and really finding the power in it no matter how we identify. Those are truths that I'm speaking to feel more free. Okay? Let's see. Yes, I know. I'm the luckiest to be in this group with amazing women. We love you, Jack. Yes. Okay, we're gonna do a card pull. I'm using 2 decks today. I'm using the original Moonology Oracle deck, and then I'm also using the Moonology Manifestation Oracle deck. So we'll be using these two. Okay. So in this moment, as I'm shuffling, I ask you all to just like close your eyes if you can. Take a nice deep inhale, exhale. Really collect yourself, center your energy. If there's anything that you want clarity on, bring it to the forefront of your mind. Allowing your energy to cultivate, to center in so that you can receive whatever message you need for this week. Okay, we're going to start with this deck. It's so funny. There we go. This deck feels so much more like harder. I don't use this deck as often. This deck I use all the time. Okay. No, I want it to come out. Okay, thank you. Every single time. Okay, so we have 3 cards. I'm going to go through the first one. Last quarter moon in Libra, make time for self-love. So for this week, as we are, there you guys go. It's such a pretty card. Excuse me. As we are entering,
This is a reminder to drink water.
Thank you, Alexa. As we are entering Sagittarius season at the end of this week, but still we have that Scorpio energy. This is a time to embrace self-love. These last aspects of your shadow that you are leaning into for Scorpio season, can you do it with love? Can you do it with a deep reverence for yourself? It's super important. Like literally, we're about to enter something new. We're at that last quarter, right? We're at that ending mark. And Libra energy is all about finding that harmony, finding the beauty, finding the justice in these things. Can you find the beauty in your self-love? Can you find the justice in your self-love? Because it is a very powerful act when you are choosing to love yourself, in whether it's in spite of everything that's going around you or if it's because of everything that's going around you. Knowing that you taking care of yourself and nourishing yourself and loving on yourself expands your beauty, expand your ability to receive justice if need be, right? Expand your ability to be in harmony so you can feel safe, you can feel seen, you can attract these experiences, these desires, these opportunities that are for you. Are you able to do that? I encourage you in this last week of Scorpio, make time to love yourself through your shadows. Okay? And then we have 2 other cards that are both in reverse. This is internal work that we'll be doing. We have the end of tough cycles approaches, full moon in Capricorn. Here we go. Love this. You know, that Capricorn energy, we're literally just talking about it. A tough cycle is about to end. And I do really believe that it's probably Scorpio season. You know, as again, I'm a Scorpio stellium, Scorpio sun. I love my season, but I also understand that it is probably very exhausting for a lot of people when they get to Scorpio season because of the amount of shadow exploration that needs to be done, the amount of tuning in and witnessing what you don't like and what you do like, the amount of rage that comes up during Scorpio season. It can be very exhausting and it can feel tough. It can feel hard to get through. You're almost there. Okay, all of that dedication, that discipline that you gave to yourself this season, even if you feel like you didn't give enough, whatever it is that you did give is getting you through this season. Can you see that for yourself? This being a full moon card also speaks to like illuminating the fullness of your journey because it is about to end. That means that as that's ending, there will be grief for that, but there will also be joy because there's a new beginning. we'll be entering that season of optimism, of expansion, of, Jupiter energy, and allowing ourselves to really shine. Okay? And as we do that, remember that it's not always hard work. Okay? That is why this is in reverse. That Capricorn is in reverse. Be playful as you enter this new season. Okay? When the tough cycle ends, celebrate, rejoice, have fun in the beginning of the new one. Don't think like, man, I got through the last cycle and I'm gonna grind hard to get through this. Like, that is just unnecessary. For me, that feels dramatic. It feels like, do we have to do that? Or can we just enjoy? Can we laugh? Can we just be like, woo, got through that. And we're going to have fun this season. Can we claim the joy? Back to what I was saying earlier. Are you willing, if everything went the way you wanted to go in this upcoming season, for Sagittarius season, for the next 30-ish days, everything, every single day, everything went your way. Everything went your way in your health, mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, in your relationships, in your purpose. Everything you ever desired just showed up and just was. Would you have the capacity to accept it, to embrace it? Or would you feel like you're undeserving of it, or that you have to work hard to sustain it? These are real questions you should ask yourself. Because if you feel like you have to work hard to sustain it, you're not going to really experience the fullness that Sagittarius energy is going to provide us. Because you're giving yourself like a block with that type of mentality. But if you're like, you know what, I did all that I can do, and I'm willing to show up and just enjoy whatever opportunities, whatever synchronicities, whatever dynamics or relationships show up for me, I'm just going to come with an open heart and an open mind. I'm going to trust that I have a level of discernment and discipline to navigate any ebbs, and then I'm going to really lean in and enjoy those flows. You can come into that space like that, chef's kiss. What a great experience you're going to have over the next 30 days. And then we actually pulled the cover of the deck. Love when that happens. Believe in the impossible, a blue moon in reverse. Love this. Believe in the impossible. I always say the word itself says, I'm possible. Believe in yourself. Believe in what you desire to be possible. It has to start here in your inner world if you're going to see it in your outer world. If you do not believe you can have it here within you, where it doesn't have to have any type of physical tangibility, if that's even a word, for you to know it's real, and you can't even think that, you can't even feel that here, it's never going to materialize in your physical world. And if by chance it does, you're not going to know how to appreciate it, how to savor it, how to utilize it, how to enjoy it, and it'll disappear as fast as it came. Believe in the impossible. Anything that's on your heart right now that you just feel and know, this is what I want to experience in my life. This is what I want to feel. This is who I want to be with. This is what I want to be in community with. This is what I want to express my gifts and my talents. Feel it. Even if it is absolutely impossible. Feel it, believe it, and then let it manifest. Let it come to fruition in the physical world. So that not only you can enjoy it, but other people can enjoy it. Whether it's that we're celebrating your success or that we get to also be a part of said success. Allow for all of us to have that experience by believing in the impossible, by believing that what you desire is possible. We ourselves are walking miracles. The worlds had to collide for us to exist. We are made up of stardust. We are truly magical beings. And we tend to consistently give our power away because we don't see things that are in the physical world the way that we want them to be. So whether that is a prayer for the... Let's see. Okay. It's saying that's still recording, but I'm not sure that it is. But all right. So those are the three that we have. Oh, thank you, PD, for your donation. Jack, thank you for your donation. This is a donation-based experience. So if you are able to donate, if you are able to give financially, this helps me to pay my bills. It helps me to continue to have the time and space to show up and to share these insights and share this information with you and to be in community with you. So please feel free to donate here. If you do not want to donate on Insight Timer or you want to donate somewhere else differently, at the top of my email we'll always have options for you to like donate different places, or you can always join the Substack community. Okay, I'm very, very proud of it. It is absolutely an amazing space to be in. That is a great way to continuously show up and donate in a way that directly helps me to continue living out my life. So whatever one works, okay? Yes. Which one am I holding up again, BD? Let me know. Is it, I'll hold them all up again. This is the first card. Let's see if you can see that. That's our first card. Our second card is in reverse. And that is the Capricorn full moon. I'll put it this way so you guys can see it too. And then our third card, believe in the impossible. There we go. Yes, Scorpio was so intense this year. I know. It's Pluto leaving Capricorn tomorrow. Yes, ingressing into Aquarius for the next 20 years. And Aquarius energy does have a lot of playful energy to it too as well. Yes, BD, I was asked about that earlier. What do you see there? Yes, come on now. Hi, Ree. Claim the joy. Yes, receiving is challenging for many of us. And it's an opportunity for us to use this season to experience that. Because what I can foresee when it comes to... Sorry, it's just like driving me crazy because I'm like...